Hey everybody, what's up? It is me. Last time we got back into the Great Ace Attorney. We're almost done, but we're not quite there yet, I should say. Last time Mr. Egg himself, Humpty Dumpty, the one and only, showed his face, as you can see. And we got him to admit some stuff about the disc, which he's going to talk about now. But yeah, other than that, also we talked to Gina. She told us the truth now. She told us what happened. And yeah, without further ado, let's press the button. The disc, right now. There's a note on the disc saying, "For Mcguilded," but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, the filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later the same night. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure that freaking everything's working out. Did I hear you correctly, sir? Mcguilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of distinctly messy murder? Yes, my lord, the one and the same. Good lord, Mr. Graydon, are you saying that Mr. Mcguilded and yourself were acquainted? Yes, that's correct. Okay. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear the name uttered here in my courtroom again. According to what Gina told us, the disc was placed in pawn on the fateful night 2 months ago. Mcguilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks.
It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belongs to him, then isn't it?
In all likelihood, he's lying. Yeah, shocking. No shit. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hand on Mcguilded's disc for some reason. Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please. Alright, I'm ready. 2 cross-examinations? Well, 1, this is a new video, but 2 in 1 day? No problem. Alright, first things first. There's a known size from Mcguilded. The item belongs to me. Hold it! Would you care to explain how this belongs to you? As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary. You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir. I mean, I can't deny that, yeah. So, you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbroker trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse whilst on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question. You claim that was your overcoat? Obviously, and in my haste I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket. And yet, there is a note on it that reads, "For Mcguilded." I am a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. Mcguilded at a gentleman's club in the city and was interested to discover, also gentleman's club, wow, that he shared my penchant in that area. So, the disc in question... It's a pre-production sample. I promised to let Mr. Mcguilded hear it. But then, you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn. Yes, exactly.
Ginny didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she?
No, because Mcguilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury.
Oh dear, this is complicated, isn't it?
I mean, when isn't it, Iris? Let's leave it alone for the time being. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling. Don't call Gina that. She's fine. She's fancy in her own way.
Hold it!
So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag? That's right. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious areas her kind frequent,
Objection!
Miss Lestrade did no such thing. Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender. You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her, that's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hand on Mcguilded's disc.
Objection!
Jesus, alright. My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense? Excuse me, Zieks. We're friends. Dude? I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear? Okay, alright, Jesus. Yes, my lord. Then I will continue my testimony for what possible use it can be. Alright, you do that. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. Hold it. Had you ever been to Windibanks before? Only once, for the purpose of pawning something, but like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments. So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct? Yes, that's right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such is the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbroker at once in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place. Urgh, he can't say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. Damn. In the end, of course, this was taken by the police.
Hold it!
So... yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? That's right. This was the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. Mcguilded as evidence.
Excuse me!
Are you okay, Gregson? Could you, stop hiding stuff? Is something wrong, Inspector? Please talk. What do you mean? The last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way. No, it didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone. Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. Mcguilded's possessions? I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yes, exactly. You should know all about that. Magnus Mcguilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet he had a dark side too. Alright. Where are you going with this, Zieks? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they? That's quite enough. Coppers like me have duties to carry out. that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. The bottom line is, if you want more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's pawn print first. What's all this about? I have an idea. It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zieks here. Well, it would appear that the Inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony. Gladly, my lord. I have so many voices going on. I'm so sorry. In other words, I have no reason to break into the shop later that night.
Hold it!
Let me just see what he says about this. But perhaps you'd seen nothing of value among the forfeited items. No, not at all. Oh, okay, well that was simple. A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. Mcguilded's disc. Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than as I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in. So there was nothing of Mcguilded's left in that shop that night. Nothing this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true.
Bruno, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble.
Alright, sure. Mcguilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Windibanks. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket.
There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his purely white teeth.
More like his pasty white skin. But anyway, the police were obviously after anything left behind by Mcguilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day.
But Grexy's being very strange about all this.
There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. How do I do that? Alright. Alright. So... I should have... Yeah, no, I should be fine. Anyway. There's a note, saying the disc saying from Mcguilded, but the items belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the day of the accused. So which one should I present it on? The day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, the court, this was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night. Well, if you had no reason to break into the shop that night, hang on, let me just see this again. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, a filthy gutterling. They don't have redemption tickets, right? Oh wait, no, yeah, there's a ticket. Never mind. Stolen Filled the only on the day of the question. Oh, there's two. Oh, that's right. There's 2 tickets. Oh, there's 2 tickets. Oh, shit. I just realized there are 2 tickets. They are different too. This one is on the 15th of February at 10:30 p.m. for £1 something. And this one is on the 13th of February at 9 p.m. for a small box. A small box. A very small box. So this one is the one that I gatherings overcoat. Okay, this is for the overcoat, and this is for a box. So the overcoat had this, which that would be it. And let me just check something else. Da-da-da-da. That's the purple blood. So do I just show the tickets? Is that what I do? Shit, I meant to go this way. This is over here. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night. Are you sure about that? So we're gonna try this right now. Should I show which of the 2 pawnbroker tickets should I show? The one with blood or the one with? Ah, screw it. We'll do the one that says the ticket.
Objection!
Ah! Got it. I guess it didn't matter which one you showed. This disc was deposited at Windibanks on Magnus Mcguilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Don't object me. I'm getting somewhere. Conjecture again, and in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night.
Objection!
Oh, that's my objection now this time. Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true. What? Mr. Mcguilded had another article on pawn at Windibanks. As this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. There you go. Ah, we're getting somewhere now. Let's go. Smack that table. There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. Mcguilded in Windibanks pawnbrokery. And the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. Ah! This is the second ticket, is it? What had the man deposited? The article description reads, 1 small box. A rather vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke into this pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box? I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did. This is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I would simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. That's a good point. Indeed. The witnesses makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
Excuse me, my voice. Sorry, Iris, I'm making you work. It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zieks, please? I'm senile. I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibanks pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. Oh, okay. Show me then, bro. What? No, let's see. Let's go. Good gracious! Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court if you please. Yes, sir. What prints? Wait, what prints? Hang on a second. Maybe don't show it. These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras.
Ah, Hurley's red-handed recorders again.
As previously explained, using the plan of the shop layout. Bum, bum, bum. There's music though. The victim establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where the Mr. Windibank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information to this ticket, Mcguilded's small box had forfeited already. 2 days before an incident at 9 p.m. on 13th of April, to be precise. Which means it would have been in shelves of forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on the 15th of April. This is the judge. The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear. Alright, this is a new picture. And then we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare. Though I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold. Something moved. We have to figure out what. And I'm not doing the cross-eyed thing again. I gotta check every single. It's like I spy. Spot the difference. What's the difference here? I'm trying to look. Bum bum. Yeah. Da 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 bum. Ru da 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 ru da 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 ru ba ba bum 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 bum. Ra da. I broke my. Well, that's gonna be thrown out. Anyway, that's me breaking my chair. Trying to look at it. It's not very helpful in that sense if you look at the... what do I see? What do I see? Something's out of place here that I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna try and sing this song until I get it. And if this doesn't work out, I will just go and cry in bed. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, the judge says like he sees nothing. I don't see anything either. Dear me, that's startling. Starting to make my head ache. Yeah, because you're crossing your eyes. Don't do that, bro. Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we explore the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life. So your men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector? Yes, sir. I'm trying to see. We counted every single item in each of these 2 photographic prints. And the yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both. Something's weird. We probably gotta do something over here. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a fantasy of hopefulness. That's not what he said, but hopeful fantasy, but you know what I mean. Ah! I don't believe it. If I could just have shown that he's stolen Mcguilded's pawned box. And he's shimmying. I might have been able to break him down at last.
You know what, Bruno? I've been thinking.
When you're thinking, let me just see this. I want
I wonder if these two photographs really aren't exactly the same.
I want to see this. Hang on. This might take me a while, but bear with me. And you guys could do your cross-eyed thing too, but bear with me. I'm going to try and like look at this for like a little bit longer. I got it. It didn't take me that long. I got it. I know what it is. Take a look at this box. I'm gonna do the zoom in thing where like I show you the zoom thing. Take a look at this box here, and then take a look at that box over there on the right. Now let's look at them side by side. Doesn't that look a little bit moved? I, for the life of me, could not figure that out when I was playing the game. Now, I have a clear distinction of what I'm looking at. And Iris is right. They're not the same. What? Or more like, what? So, counsel, in light of evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Aha! You might be right, but something was moved. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion? I don't know. Could there be some hidden discrepancy in these two photographic prints? There's no discrepancy. Point out the discrepancy. Use a piece of evidence. Oh, shit. Can I use a piece of evidence to show the discrepancy? Oh, man. Oh, I don't want to choose the wrong one. I could use a piece of evidence to show a discrepancy. I don't know if that'll count. But we have this thing is what I wanted to show. Where are you? This thing. Where are you? Hello. I passed it. I passed it because I thought it was useless. There it is. This thing, stereoscope. We have that. We could use that as evidence. I don't know if that'll work, but you know, let me just save. You know, I'm gonna do a safety save. Safety save. Safety save. Safety save. We'll do it in the bottom over here. Sure. Another safety save. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I want to point out a discrepancy, but you know what? I could use. Well, can I use it? Use a piece of evidence. Wait, use a piece of evidence. Hang on a second. I just realized it says use a piece of evidence. I think it doesn't matter. You can point out a discrepancy or like use it. You know what? Screw it. Fuck it. We're doing use a piece of evidence. Before I give my answer, my lord, I'd like to try something if I may. Okay, here we go. I don't think I did this last time. Try something? What do you mean, counsel? I'll need to use a certain piece of evidence from the court record to identify the discrepancy. There we go. Okay, now we're getting technical on this shit. Van Zieks is like, what the hell is this guy doing? I'm not entirely sure I follow. Which piece of evidence do you intend to use to help to identify a discrepancy between the two prints? Aha! Oh, Judge.
Take that!
I like to use this evidence, my lord. To view the two prints stereoscopically. Oh! Yeah, this guy. I forgot that he was in the crowd. Yes, you've caught the bug at last. You can't resist it, can you? You've got the cross-eyed compulsion. Actually, I prefer not to be cross-eyed. Juror number 3. What a surprise.
Come on, Bruno. Let's put the pictures in place and see what this wonderful contraption shows us.
Let's do it.
There we go. Now look through the eyepiece.
Look at that. It shows it. What's up? I wasn't sure at first, but I saw it like immediately. There is clearly a discrepancy between these two prints. What? This guy's always just... What? You must oh my god, voice crack. Holy shit, my god, you heard that, right? You must identify the location in question for the court, counsel. Indicate the precise location of the discrepancy of which you speak. It's for those who can't see it, it's literally, where do I put it? It's right here. It's like literally blazing, like God shining a light saying, here it is, stupid. Right there.
Take that!
Granted, these two prints are almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them. What? Another what? When you view the two pictures stereoscopically or separately, you just have to have a good eye. Look at that. It even zooms in on where it shows. That's awesome. A single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box. Let me see. Wait. Unbelievable. By Jove, you're right. How extraordinary. You're cross-eyed yourself. Everyone's cross-eyed except Van Zieks. He's smart. What this tells us is very simple. Mr. Mcguilded's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves. Are you suggesting the small box originally deposited by Mr. Mcguilded is in fact... Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints.
Objection!
Don't object me, you saw it with your own eyes. Mindless guesswork. What if it is? Or what if it was? So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means, quite simply, that nothing has changed. That may be true, but... Alright, Mcguilded's box wasn't stolen. Then... But doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things? It changes... everything! I believe this changes everything about the case. How can that possibly be? The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that we need to examine the box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection!
Don't object me. That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial. The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zieks. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain small box in question and bring it back here for further examination. Look at that. We turned shit around. Oh, Van Zieks, we're looking at each other eye to eye. How's it going, my girl? My girl? My guy? Well, girl, I don't know. It depends on how he views himself. Or she. And... we should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while the evidence is brought forth. To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zieks. Yeah, I beg your pardon. This is nothing but a smokescreen, a Nipponesque speciality, it would seem. What are you trying to say? Yeah, out with it, bro. Just say it. You don't like me. I get it. Is it my shirt? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. Mcguilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place. Whoa, why are you slamming? Bro, exactly. Calm yourself, white paste. Easy. Pasty ass. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such a commonplace property. If your lordship recalls, Mr. Mcguilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense. The articles this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of its pockets, and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me. No, that does make rather lot of sense. It's not as if it were gold jewels, thank goodness. No, Mr. McGill, rich enough. Oh, won't you go get back? I'm just causing hullabaloo. The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling. It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have. So stop throwing your shit, bro. You're gonna break a lot more things than you're gonna own. Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in any way related to this case? Well, kind of. I have a feeling.
What's the matter, Bruno? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course, but you and I both know that. We know Mcguilded's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Mcguilded's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense's argument was flawed, based on false information.
Oh no!
And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury.
But Ginny!
Could it be that Van Zieks knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything?
But maybe this could be a great opportunity for us.
Sorry? What do you mean, Iris? Yeah, please explain.
Well, what is it that you always say, Bruno? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time.
Alright. The exact significance of the things that Mcguilded deposited with Mr. Windibank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? Have Gina testify? Leave it. This game doesn't know me. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal. Oh, what proposal, counsel? While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. Mcguilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand. The defendant? To what end? It's to do with the various articles deposited at Windibanks by Mr. Mcguilded, my lord. Ms. Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all. Well, well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused's standing, and indeed your own. I have.
Lord Van Zieks, would you care to explain that last remark?
The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself.
Very well, if you have no objection. So, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice.
This guy, what are you doing? You have no hair to accommodate. Then I shall bid you good day. Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies. As you wish. Alright then, Gina. It's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here.
Good luck,
Alright, I'm gonna press the button right now. The articles that Mr. Mcguilded had deposited in Windibanks pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well.
That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. Mcguilded. The omnibus case was intriguing to say the least. And now, here we all are again, the same players in the trial, facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nipponese friend? Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. Mcguilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. The murder, in fact, took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under the seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. Mcguilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances. In a ball of fire, blazing through the sky. A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself.
Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor this small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings.
Miss Lestrade. Would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean? I don't know what you mean. I already said all of what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. But... Remember, little girl, if it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts, you have little credibility to lose.
Ginny, don't listen to him! Please, you have to trust Runer now!
Iris,
We're on your side!
alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina. Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it. You know what? This seems like a good spot to stop. This is not going to be the end. Who knows if the next episode will be the end as well, too. But, as of right now, thank you guys so much for watching. Next time, we're going to hear Gina testify. And then after that, I think is home set to finishing the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are in part 58. And oh boy, I'm so excited for what comes later. Not just in this game, but just later in this year. There's so much happening. See you guys next time, and bye-bye.